What is going on, everybody? John Ramdeen with you here in the FN studios, and this is Fight News Now Extra, where Robin Black and I sort through the stories making waves in the sport of mixed martial arts. In the news today, the UFC president says there's a new contender at 145 pounds. The promotion inks a lightweight tilt set for Australia, and one of Europe's best mixed martial arts promotions goes down Saturday, and fans can catch the action live right here on FN. After a stellar outing by Irish fighter Conor McGregor at UFC 178, company president Dana White suggested that Notorious could get the next crack at the promotion's 145-pound title. White stated that because Aldo has defeated most of the fighters currently ranked in the top 10, it only makes sense to have a fresh challenger for the talented Brazilian. The UFC is putting together a lightweight matchup between Muay Thai fighter Ross Pearson and Chris Weidman teammate Al Iaquinta. The bout will serve as the co-main event of UFC Fight Night 55 and is scheduled to take place in Australia on November 8th. The American Iaquinta is coming off a knockout win over Brazilian Rodrigo Dam in his last outing, while Pearson is coming off a KO win against Gray Maynard. And finally, KSW 28 goes down this Saturday live right here on Fight Network. In the main event, ADCC veterans Karl Bodorf and Hollis Gracie will collide in the main event of the night. The Polish promotion has showcased some of Europe's best talent and most complete competitors. I'm happy to be joined by Mr. Robin Black, and the world seems to be abuzz, well, the UFC, the mixed martial arts world. Conor McGregor is the man. He's even convinced Dana White, who now says the Notorious might get the next crack at the 145-pound title, simply because there are no fresh challengers for Jose Aldo. He has a win over Chad Mendes. We know that rematch is coming up soon. He's defeated Frankie Edgar. Back in the day, he defeated Cub Swanson, Ricardo Lamas, really the best fighters at 145 pounds. And the reality is, Conor McGregor sells tickets. They are praying that this guy becomes the new 145-pound champion because, you know, you talk to most fighters, most experts in mixed martial arts, they have Jose Aldo ranked as the top 5, top 3 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, but this guy couldn't sell a pay-per-view because he doesn't speak English, he doesn't get over with the casual fans, people rarely see him. Conor McGregor is the opposite of that. As Dana White and Joe Rogan said, you put this guy in a soccer stadium in Ireland, he is selling it out, and it is all about the dollars. All you have to do is look back at George St. Pierre and his fight with Dan Hardy. I mean, George St. Pierre's fought the best guys in the world, but Dan Hardy was the guy that got the shot at the title. So the UFC can do whatever they want, really. Of
course they can. And there's some other dude sitting around going, hey, I beat Clay Guida. I'm on a pretty good winning streak, too. I'm a fresh challenger. But it's the guy who can sell the tickets. What is a corporation? What is a business? It's just this big, growing animal whose purpose in life is to be successful, to make money. It's not there to operate with any kind of specific other goals in mind. Well, it's a business. Right? It's a giant business. Business, just eating up stuff and making money. That's what businesses do. Why should the UFC be any different than Walmart? It's a business, and businesses are there to succeed, and Conor McGregor will make money. He is talented. He is fun to watch. We do want to see it, but it's motivated by business.
Yes, I love that you bring up Walmart because, yes, they're a huge corporation, but does anybody think of Walmart as a quality retailer? When it's like, oh, I'm going to get some new clothes from Walmart, you don't want anybody to know that. The fact is that you're trying to sell the world as you are the #1 mixed martial arts promotion in the world, and the way to do that is, yes, I understand it's all about business, but you have to have the guys at the top be the best guys in the world, and I just happen to believe that Conor McGregor is one of those guys, so the UFC is lucking it.
Yeah, and so everything's kind of working out, and that's the way it sort of should be. Yes, we're a business, but isn't it perfect when the guy that we'd like to see in there, the guy that does make money, happens to be really talented, the audience loves him, he's compelling, he's an interesting character, he fights exciting. This is when everything comes together. If anyone's complaining that guy's making too much money or whatever, just look at it. All the stars are aligning. If this guy fights for the title, ultimately everybody's going to be happy except Cub Swanson and Frankie Edgar.
Well, the fact is, these guys are in control of this stuff. As you mentioned before, Chad Mendes, like, whoa. There's a good chance that Jose Aldo will get the next shot at the title because I'm going to defeat Jose Aldo, and then the UFC will have to sell the trilogy. So that makes sense. So the fact is there are so many other intangibles. What happens if Cub Swanson comes out and obliterates Frankie Edgar? I would have to imagine that the UFC was like, okay, well, we're going to have to put this guy. You know, he's created interest. So it depends on what happens in the 145-pound landscape. Because the UFC has said this before. Dana White says this guy gets a title shot, and then it's taken away based on somebody else's performance.
And I like that, to be honest. People complain about that a lot. I like that it's a living, breathing thing, that these fighters still have control. Because like you said, I mean, Frankie or Cobb comes out and annihilates the other, two of the very best in the world, and then happens to have a moment where they say or do something compelling, and somehow that is as important these days. If you call out Conor McGregor in just the right way that seems to create extreme interest from an audience, all of a sudden they're like, I don't even care about Aldo and Mendez. Let them have their trilogy fight. I care about McGregor and Frankie, or McGregor and Cub Swanson. You have the ability to control that as a fighter. It used to be you controlled it with these things. Now sometimes you control it with this thing, but you do have the control.
Conor McGregor has also said, you know what, 155 pounds, I'm down. You know, this is difficult to make 145 pounds. I'm a natural 155-pound guy. I am more than happy to test the waters in either division. And you know my opinion, I'm down. I love the fact that these fighters are willing to go up and down in weight classes to take the most compelling, most competitive, most interesting fights in mixed martial arts in the UFC. And I love the fact that Conor McGregor is down to take on anybody. I want Diego Sanchez in Mexico.
I want to see that.
I want to see that. The fans will go bananas. Diego Sanchez will just continue to move forward, and Conor McGregor will have his way, but it's going to be very difficult to take out Diego Sanchez. I think the only guy that's ever done that, BJ Penn, the only guy to take him out.
Yeah, in the 5th round, I believe. Man. The thing about Conor McGregor is, yes, sometimes you're like, well, that's not fair. You know, they're only doing this because it'll make money. But yeah, when a guy's this exciting, this compelling, the audience likes him, he's fun to watch, hey, man, it all works out.
For Robin Black and our entire Fight Network crew, I'm John Ramdeen telling you there's more Fight News Now Extra still to come.